Can you hear me?
Yep.
Nice.
Alright, we'll give the others a minute or so to connect and then we'll kick off with training. Right, I think people are still connecting, but we'll kick off anyway. Welcome everyone to Wednesday training. Following on from some of the stuff that happened on Sunday, Stabs and I thought it would be a very good idea for certainly Gambler to have a bit more fighting in the forest, certainly under slightly less pressured conditions. So we'll be going over a couple of things tonight that will hopefully be able to assist in all of that. I believe Sis has got his own plans for Vegas, and Talon will be practicing as usual with some of the airframes and stuff for this weekend. Unfortunately, as much as I may have teased that there may be Hueys, I believe Marius has made this week's mission, and there are no Hueys available. But rest assured, they will be coming back in some form or other, even if I have to put them in a mission. I absolutely love these things. Anyway, no announcements from Gambler other than thank you very much for your donations this month. I'm sure Stab will have to start doing meme pictures every month. But yeah, thanks very much for donations. We are now full of donations for this month, so please do not start donating again until next month. Anything from Talon?
Nothing from us.
Awesome. Anything from Vegas?
No announcements.
Awesome. Okay then, in which case, Vegas, there is an Arsenal crate over to the northeast if you want to start kitting up for whichever bit that you're doing. Gambler, there is a teleporter to the northeast, which it will teleport you're looking for. Cover training start. Alright, dismissed, let's go.
Cool.
Gotcha.
Vegas with me, let's load up.
Trading in this area, I guess.
Wilhelm?
Yeah, all the bits that have got blue markers on. So
right, join channel
we're
2 for now,
currently
yeah.
just to the west of forest training in that kind of
Yeah.
little open area there. Urban training, cover training will be we'll be training there, so please don't fly over.
There we go.
Find the crate.
Is the Vegas crate to the west?
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah, that's fine.
It's got to be that one.
Grab some water first.
I already mentioned it.
Let's try that one.
But this weekend it is Blackhawks and yeah, that's the one.
Alright, just load your multi-cam. Yeah.
Raj.
What you were running on Sunday?
No.
North.
One's with helicopter blades.
Which one?
Cover training start.
Yeah,
Copy.
Achilles? Can you keep me?
We're done with that for now.
That'll be someone going to Zeus. Obi?
Yeah.
I'm hoping they're here, but if not, they'll be at the other end. Ah, no, they're not here. So you guys are to go to... Well, we'll do the spiel first, but afterwards you'll be wanting to go to cover training end. And we'll just go through some stuff there, but we'll go through the talk now first.
Roger.
Right, so I know that we've mostly got Arrow and... 1 second. So, one of the things that we did notice an awful lot is just how RG uses cover and uses things, or effectively doesn't use cover things like that. I mean, it's something that I think everyone in Gambler suffers from. Right from the top with me and Stab not hiding behind the right kind of tree, all the way down to your standard rifleman who maybe needs to duck and cover a little bit more, just to enable them to make the best use of their surroundings. So we're going to do a little bit of a practice exercise here. We'll start by doing it completely no firing whatsoever. The course is split roughly in two, and I think there's probably just few enough of us that will be able to all go over it at once, but just in case, it may be that I kind of divide it up into lanes, kind of attacking the different bits there. But in short, what people will be doing is moving up without firing any weapons at all, no throwing grenades, nothing like that, and it's just moving using your surroundings and things like that. Once we've done it once, then I'm going to have 3 Zeros stationed in those 3 towers with guns, and you're not allowed to shoot them back. Alright?
Okay. Copy.
Crap.
Yep. So, Blade, if you could... so, Arrow, how many are you at the moment?
At the moment, 6.
6. And Dossack?
Currently 5, 1 late joiner, so 6 in total later.
Okay, so Blade join on Dussack for now.
Okay.
So, Arrow, what I want you doing is...
I'm here, Shlee.
Are you
You
behind?
should see there's a white wall just over there.
Affirm.
Right, so you're to stick to the to the northern side of that white wall. Dussack, I want you to stay to the southern side of that white wall, just behind that hatchback. And I want to see you moving cover to cover. I want to see dashes, sometimes by singular squad members, sometimes not. But I want you at this point in time to pretend that you're under fire. Okay?
Copy.
Alright. So we'll start by doing this just a little bit first, and then we'll just go through some techniques as to how to improve it before we have Obi, Sirius, and Sean taking pot shots at you. Sirius, Obi, and Sean, if you want to join me at the end of the training.
Shlee,
Yep.
What I forgot to mention was that Ville's also going to be
you
shooting
wanna-
at us.
want to take care of blue team, and I'll take care of red team.
Sure, that's how you want it.
Copy. Yeah, it would be easiest. What is Bonesaw's role? What does he is?
AUR.
AUR. Okay, then I suggest Bonesaw go red. Hansen, what's your role?
LAT.
Boom boom.
Okay, he can go blue, and Shlee, you pick whatever you Gillo, whatever, and then got a pretty even squad and can do the stuff. Joke, you listened? Which
Yeah.
white wall we should go to? The southern. He's
I
a southern
think
one.
it's with the one with the southern.
What's that?
The right one over here. You see the hatchback directly to our west?
This is going to Dussack. How do you read?
Broken one.
1 sec.
I think that's the hatchback he was talking about.
Copy, Dussack, answers.
Channel 4.
Channel 4, thank you.
Sorry,
Airport.
114 equal. Okay, we're going there southern white wall, through the truck and the flatbed truck. Is that correct? Like here. Is this the rough direction?
I think we're going in between those two white walls. This one on the and the one on the left.
That one?
Okay. Oh, now I get it. Okay.
This is going to both squads. Start moving. Break.
It's that one.
I want to see
Okay.
people jumping
Okay.
between covers,
Move,
sprinting,
guys,
making
we're
sure
moving.
you're removing the
Red
least,
team is taking the
leaving
right
the
side
least
of that
possible
part.
amount
Blue
of
team
time
is taking
between
left side.
you being out in the open.
Blue's left.
Spread out.
Left, blue left.
Okay.
Okay, spread out onto the cover. Blue team is on the left side. Blue team is on the left side.
I'm on the right. Huh?
Shlee, can you say something on the radio? Can
Pardon?
you say something on the radio?
Hanson,
left,
radio
what's my
check,
right?
343.
Check. It's good.
Right, cool. Let's hold it
Doesn't
on
look
it.
too bad, I would say.
You can shoot at
Right.
feet, so.
I bet those are bad for coloring. Probably need to go on the right side. There's some walls at least.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
with that
there's a
side.
wall. There's
Okay,
a wall to
Lexix,
our
Bonzo, are you alone on
381.
the... Well, Bonzo is with me. It's Lexix and Anti. Push forward to the blue storage truck there, right in front of you. Copy.
I could take them out right now.
Okay, blue team, 2 people move in front, next cover.
Do it.
Hansen, let's go.
Oh,
Move
hey,
to
guys.
the next cover on the left side. I'll follow you up.
What's the fuck is the next cover?
No, sorry. On the left of where Red Team, let's pass on the right.
The broken truck there?
I'm not sure. There was a wall in front of us, about 15 meters.
Let's go for it.
It's probably
Blue's
best one.
moving.
Pretend like you're gonna cover fire, thank you. Go.
Copy.
Move in.
Blue, be advised, you got crates to your left of the truck you're behind right now.
Bad calculations. Run out of stamina.
Yeah, I think we're quite close now.
Also, you see the white hatchback to your right?
Hey, firm.
Copy. Move over there. Take cover behind it.
we got some
I'm crossing when you're over there.
Who's behind it?
I'm gonna push over towards Cherokee, dude, alright?
Victor and Warthog, I think.
Yeah.
And Joe.
Victor, Warthog, Jerk, if you can bound up.
I wonder if they can see my head now.
Yeah, probably.
I think so.
Just cracking this fucking rocks here.
Okay. This place was a little small for all of us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Peel past to go
Okay,
to the
listen up.
next one,
Everyone's
I
at the
guess.
second cover
You
right now.
pass the next one.
Roger, I'll hold if you wanna push.
Okay, Lexix, Anti, push forward to your wall, to the wall in front of you.
Right. Warthog, you take that cover, then I'll move up.
Roger, push in.
You'd say push on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just expecting someone else to go with you.
Yeah, Sonny, you can move if you need.
Okay, blue team, need to push forward.
There's big cover directly west of us. Direct ahead.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. What were you saying? Mark ahead.
There's cover direct ahead.
Yeah.
About 50 meters around.
Lexix, Anti, how is it looking? How much cover you got
Hi,
in front of you?
Victor.
25.
We got a lot,
25
we can
meters.
safely proceed.
Copy, then push forward.
Victor, peel
Tell
right
me when
and
you reach
join
the next
that
cover,
blue
please,
team
because
member.
we're
To the
pushing
right of you.
behind you.
Join Jay Hansen to the north.
Okay, yeah.
Right, let's try and move up to that cover
That
on
was
the
a long
left.
fucking run, dude.
Move it. Oh, never mind. Keep right.
Wall was blocking.
Lexix, did you hit the wall?
Yeah, we had a big, I don't know,
Can they
the
see you from there if you crawl out, Joe?
Copy, also push forward. Next cover. Front.
knowledge.
And to go west.
Red on stamina.
Jerk, we're moving.
Copy that.
Follow me out. In fact, I should
Oi.
just send you out really, but
Okay.
We had hit the next.
Copy, hold your position, Lexix.
right, let's bound onto the next one.
Copy.
Morning.
What's the next?
Okay,
cover
blue
we have?
team,
left side.
spread
south.
out on that cover in front of
Heading
you there.
west.
Copy.
Yeah, there's a nice wall.
I'll bound past you first then, Warthog.
I have to get some stamina. I'm all out.
Okay, Warthog's covering.
You first.
Yeah, you cover your last man then, Warthog.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Burning.
Moving.
Wait a second.
Blue's moving west.
Moving.
Alright, I can't see fuck all. What we got next with the cover wise?
Got some boxes on the left.
Stone wall to the left. Yeah. What is it?
We have a new wall about 25 meters to our direct ahead.
Copy, we'll peel right again.
Hey, you guys hear me talking over radio?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Can someone... Also got some trouble, is that possible? He's not listening to me?
Cherokee, if you want to push, and then Zanny,
Is
you guys up, alright?
Okay, everything's fine. Okay, push forward, next cover.
Right, let's peel out. Victor, take point, head west to the next set of cover, yeah?
Roger. Moving.
Warhog.
Pew pew pew.
Do you want some pew pew?
Hey, so wanna shoot Sean?
Immersion.
Move in.
Pew, 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 pew.
Guys, let's head
Pew,
off
pew, pew, pew.
west.
West.
Pew pew pew.
Yeah.
Moving.
Cherokee, can you give me some
Pew,
pew
pew,
pew?
pew.
Pew pew pew. Go last man.
You switched then, you went to full auto halfway through, that was good.
Last man going.
You good? Or you need to reload your pew?
Set. We'll hold here while you catch up.
Pew pew pew.
Copy. Okay, next third wall.
Right, I'm gonna go
to our,
super low there. Okay,
northwest.
yeah, I can cover from
You have blanks.
Pew pew
Pew pew pew pew.
pew pew pew.
Sounds like a Brummie
pew.
machine gun.
Dude, there are some big ass fucking yellow barrels on the guns.
Done.
Yeah. Two small walls to our direct north.
Okay, next wall to our left here. Left side of that cover.
Knowledge.
Cheers, Annie.
Fuck, they saw me.
Thank you.
Did you say we have cover on the left?
Push in there. Also, push in. Right
Yeah,
wall
there's
was-
two walls directly north, west. I mean, two
Yeah.
small walls.
Okay, scout all squads.
Exit
Any man
left.
who's made it to the double trench directly at the end of the course is safe. I repeat, anyone making it to the end of the large trench is safe.
That's how the pros do.
Right,
Their
the
exercise is over.
objective
Bonds are
is the
being-
trench just ahead of us, so we have to move up there, yeah?
Okay, sorry, mate. Can you
Yep.
push in between the red guys?
Blue's moving.
We're going left,
I
right?
can't see very much cover.
I'll move first.
Blue
Over
exit
there.
left, moving it.
Moving.
Moving.
Set and cover.
Go for it, Victor.
No good cover on the right on the push wall.
Moving.
Right.
Next is good to
Yeah.
go.
Cherokee,
Wait until blue pushed off and
Moving.
just get to my position. Lex and bones off.
covering fire.
Copy. Blue
Tell
last
me
man
when you
moving.
go, boss.
Okay, move over now.
I do kind of feel like we're kind of slow between the shifts.
Fast.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe. Well, you don't know the terrain, so I guess that's an excuse.
I just inserted into the game. What should I do?
There is a flagpole where training start
Well, we've got
markers,
there.
and
Feel like we
they
have
teleport yourself and get some
Someone
canteens
missing
for you.
from Blue's hanging back.
You want me to go to cover training start?
Zanny.
Copy.
It'll be so easy to kill them because, like, there's two towers, and the two towers are focused just in one lane. That's straightforward.
Pretty much.
Covering fire.
Oh, just kidding.
Blue team, is it possible? There is a wall to
Looking
your
right at us.
westish. Can you move over with some guys there?
Yeah, copy, we're peeling right.
Pew to the pew pew.
You heard him, guys, let's peel
Copy.
right. Someone from the
Pew pew pew.
left
Copy.
cover, I'll follow you out.
Oh, no, which one?
Warthog,
To
go.
this cover?
Go.
Yeah, we're heading right.
Going?
Oh, we're going there again.
Victor's covering.
Yeah, roger that. Zanny. if you
Last
wanna
man,
push to
Victor.
the wall, I'll cover again.
Following.
Tell me when you're ready.
Just those guys.
Covering fire.
Oh, it's too cramped.
Yeah.
Move in.
Pew 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 pew.
Alright.
Oh,
We gotta move before they move.
Farm this wall,
Oh shit, that's fine.
Yeah, we gotta go before we get bunched up here.
Just stay here.
All alone again.
We're gonna get killed.
Yeah.
That's a terrible cover. And a
Yeah.
50-meter run.
Can we use that wall cover on the right?
Right.
I guess you're in the tower right now?
Should we just push straight?
No, we're
Like-
Scout
approaching
squads,
the
Okay.
X and X, bring it to the west.
Oh, that's a big push. We've got it.
And X, guys.
Yeah, link up with us, Merrick.
Oh,
Just
nice,
move
okay.
west from your position.
We could have pushed it north.
And
Index,
But
guys,
what we
index.
would have to have
West.
done is from this position, I reckon. Move to
Last
Zanny,
push is gonna be
pass that
really
aim on
are we
past
moving west or?
Can we
Yeah,
use
you said
these walls
bring-
on the right?
It's called set, and the furthest guy behind.
All squads
in our
run to the
area.
blue.
Should we move one of us to red?
Ben?
Should we
Sorry?
move one
Do you think these
blue
walls
guy to
work?
red?
Probably come up to here.
Yeah, might be. Yeah, I don't know. Is it across the white wall? No, it's not. Yeah, we should use them next time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, spread out more.
Yeah, on all squads, I'm seeing an awful lot of dawdling and standing around.
Sorry, boss man. I was just discussing something.
Merrick, blue smoke. Move towards our position.
Yep, on it.
It was,
is when you're fucking role
it was the pew pew that made it feel real.
Yo.
Right, we're gonna run that again. And this time, We can fire at you, you can't fire back. Them's the rules. In the third round, you'll be able to fire back, but we're going to give you the blank fire adapters just so that you guys can cover each other. Some of the good stuff I saw was people moving to and from cover, and people using the right kind of cover. But just some hints for people. So, when you're moving from cover to cover, it doesn't matter. Well, I mean, ideally, if you can stay low and move directly in cover. But if you're going to expose yourself, you expose yourself to the enemy for the shortest amount of time possible. That means you are stood up, you are running, and you are going as fast as you possibly can. You get into that cover, and you get down as quickly as you can. It's probably even better, depending on exactly how far you are from the cover, for you to go down on your belly if you need to get stamina back, depending on the circumstances. It's not always going to work, but it's usually best just to go as quickly as you can, as far as you can. So we're going to do that again. Those people who were hiding behind the trucks, you can be seen a lot more than you think you can. The safest part of a vehicle to hide behind is the wheelbase. So if you stick yourself behind the wheel, then your entire body is covered. Or at least as much of your body as you possibly can, because you've got the wheels touching the ground. Other than that, we in the towers can all see under the cars, and a determined enemy can lie down and put bullets in that. So, teleporter at the end, go back to the start, and call you when we're ready.
Copy.
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 Alright, back to the start.
Is that Vegas?
Yes.
No,
I think so.
I was about to say no, they're AI that I just
Where
placed
do
down
we,
to watch you for
get bottom?
embarrassment.
Vegas looked pretty cool, man.
It's almost a description.
Yeah, if you want.
We've got
if you want-
live. We've got live stuff, and we've obviously not got no body armor in there.
I can put one in your Lexix.
Was there anything?
I got two
Yeah.
already. Thank you.
Oh, that Vegas gear looks pretty good.
No problem, dude.
Vegas pajama.
Oh, okay. How we do
Vegas
that?
PJs, yeah.
Don't use the cars, at least.
Is Shlee around? Oh, there he
Okay.
is.
I don't think we need to get the blank fire
Hey,
adapters just yet, dudes.
We wanna do pretty much the same approach and then moving over to the right where those walls were, or doing that long run from the walls we were towards the walls in the middle closest towards the trench.
It
What do
looked
you
like you got so far you could use pretty much any cover you like, and then you kind of get tunneled when the hedges, left and right. So if at that point, like say if you keep on the right, you'll just have to tunnel up on the right hand side, and we'll tunnel up on the left, and then spread out again, and then move from there.
Yeah, let's try it.
I think we need to be very careful about having more than a few people at the cars at the time, or else they're gonna get shot in from under.
The thing is, I don't know. The cars are the first covers here.
Yeah.
You can't stay here in the open.
Do quick
Can we
spots
use
at them
smoke?
and go straight up to the walls after?
Do we have? Can we
I
use
would
smoke?
I would say no. I would say we're using this truck, this one, and the broken one here. So we got 3 cars, the first 3 cars, trucks, whatever, and we have to spread out. I mean, we're pretty big right now.
It's like the first 2 people go to each vehicle, so that's 4, and then the next will have to run
It's
to their
Gamma
vehicle
Squad, we've got
straight
Vegas
past the
joining
next
us
bit
for
of
this
cover.
particular instance. Break.
We're just
Where?
moving from cover.
Be advised, 3-0 on orders to shoot mainly the worst examples of people moving from cover to cover, and also those who may be exposing themselves a bit more than they think they are. Break. Any squad that is on the southern side, you are attacking, in quotation marks,
The thing
the
is, just
southern tower.
so close.
Any squads on the northern side, that is north side of that second white wall break, you are attacking the northern tower. Once you make it to the double trench lines, you are safe.
And also we maybe
on
should
the other hand, if
speed it
does
up a bit
take too
when we
long,
move
then
from cover to
reset
cover.
and move on to something slightly more fun.
Yeah.
Not get stuck for too long at one spot.
This is Gamble for Arrow. Are you ready?
Arrow set and ready to go.
This is Gamble for Dussack. Are you ready?
Copy. We're ready to go.
Want us to use cover fire?
Negative.
No firing from our side.
Vil was just saying that if you get shot, it's because
Vegas
you're
ready.
overexposed, basically.
Yeah, the worst example is getting shot.
This is Gamma to all squads. All squads are go. 3-0, you're authorized to start firing 10 seconds into the exercise.
Okay, keep moving, front. Get
Blue
cover, get
spread
cover.
out. Let's go.
Red team, stay on the right, blue on the left.
First 2 people.
We should move straight up to the fucking good cover, I guess.
2
before
people
the
hold
last
on this. The next people budge past.
You can kinda,
Oh,
Watch out.
keep
Keep
distance to
on
the
the
car.
wheels.
I have
They're
stamina.
moving forward.
Oh,
They're
moving.
Red team is in cover.
Take the boxes. Good.
Okay, red
ID
team,
your next cover.
front.
Yeah,
Push
don't have
forward,
stamina
use
yet.
cover. Lex XME, stay here.
Wall,
Use your cover.
wall dead ahead.
Moving.
Straight west.
Going on left.
You need to exit left. Exit left.
Okay,
Push left.
right on you.
Okay. Forward. Go.
I got
Left.
Run together to overwhelm them.
Fuck, exposed to the wall to the left.
Red team, push forward.
Oh, close it.
Peel right.
Yeah, I need stamina.
Yeah,
No stamina.
Yeah, let's get
this is
stamina
pretty
back.
good spot.
Watch your head,
too.
Victor. You're exposed.
Guys, make sure you don't all move at once. Make sure you, do you know what I mean? Let the other guys get
Yeah.
their cover first.
Shlee, how about we all run at the same time to overwhelm them?
Negative. We need to, do this like we're in a mission.
Okay.
Moving on both sides, right?
Right, moving.
Copy that.
It's recovering. Moving.
How's the stamina?
I've got like a trench wall on my right seas.
Yeah, we can
another one
go-
directly in front.
I'm gonna go left. I'm gonna go right.
Copy. I'll move for you.
You wanna move this train straight ahead?
Yeah, I can go.
Okay, cover or we both stay?
Oh no, I think we need to go to
Moving to you,
that
Jeff.
walls.
Roger. Leper crawl up, run and then crawl.
Cam,
'Cause they can
yeah,
see you.
done walls.
Yeah.
We got cover on the left.
I'll move the train straight ahead from me now.
I'm stamina, mate.
If you think you can do it, be careful.
Can we use smoke?
Negative.
No.
Okay.
Got a low wall ahead. I'm heading.
I'm safe.
With you.
Okay, I'm going left.
Yeah.
I can go left, I think. Okay.
Sleep, man.
I'm just trying to find our next piece.
This is, I can't.
It's stamina.
That's how you move. Fine. It feels like I've got an arm.
Yeah, you can go from pretty early. I still have cover.
I don't have one.
I'm
This
looking
is
now.
Gamma to all squads. The next person I see Serpentine is going to get an actual bullet.
In boxes. Left. Don't go too far. You expose me.
There's a wall to our front.
He's gonna reload. He's about to-
Pretty close one to
I'm
south.
gonna exit right and go for the crate.
Okay.
We can wait for it then.
It's crate like 5 meters ahead.
Craig,
Moving.
the wall you're like 9 to 10 o'clock. The white one, the grey one. Is
Right,
that
I'm gonna peek it.
run
Cherokee, start moving.
flat against us, or is it just run in the direction we're going? So we can't see the right side.
You've got a wall left, Warthog.
Oh, close it.
Yeah, see.
So no north to south.
Going.
Close it.
So,
Yeah.
I'm feeling not like
Okay,
that one,
middle
though.
view.
No, it's a good one.
cover.
Hold on, I'm gonna move up to the trench instead.
Yeah. If you
Okay,
want.
you got me?
It's only just been vacated. It was busy. William, I'm gonna go.
Did you get hit?
Nope.
They tried.
Fucking ninja. Well, the good thing is training. That's the way I can like figure out how hard it is to get hit now.
Yeah.
Do you think
It would suck to do it in an operation though.
then lie down?
Stones to our front.
It's a nice wall.
Don't move yet, Ben. We are already bunched up with Vegas.
Yeah, eyes on.
That works.
Blue team, how are you guys looking?
I can try.
We're at the hedge now. We'll wait for you. Or shall we
Copy.
continue?
Yeah, we have a bit of
I'm
logistic
the
problem here because we have so many people on our side.
From Pipeline number.
It's Vegas with us.
Direct your far right side.
Yeah, copy. Try and use the left side. We're on the right now. We'll use that cover.
Run to where I was and then lay down.
Copy.
Can you cover me, Cherokee?
Blue
William, you
team,
see
we're
the
going to
one,
move
like,
up on the right hand
northwest
side
of
using the
Stones?
cover right of the hedge.
Quite a run, but it's probably your best bet.
See these walls?
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Ben, we
to
got
front
front left, front right, walls.
Sir,
Where
you
do
got me?
want us to go?
Push forward, whatever's closest.
Copy.
go prone as soon as you can, William.
I'm gonna be offering my target.
I might got hit.
Ready to push, please?
Do you get hit?
Go.
I think so.
Roger that. Hold. You know.
I'm crossing, William.
It's still hedge.
I mean, without
We
being able to
cover on
cover
the
fire
left.
smokes, that you
There's
have
a
to
really
take
close
fire.
wall actually here.
What about
Like,
None of us can
2 meters.
Alright, let's reach the next wall, right?
I'll subscribe.
Yeah, Merrick, push forward to the right.
I think the right side's the best bet.
no, wait.
Already on it.
Oh, there's one directly over the 12 foot of us.
I'm just trying to get an eye on it because I'm exposed on the right.
Would you go to the left side slightly?
Move
Peek
it.
through the gaps, you'll see it.
Both good over there?
It's like 12
Yeah, I see
o'clock.
it. Moving, Dito.
Guy, this camera goes out now. Fuck. Get low, get low. Fuck.
It's okay, we can wait.
Yes, we have a close wall left. Next one right is
Let's get
quite
shot
far.
from the right tower.
I don't know. Feels like it's penetrating the walls.
Kind of far from us
Taking
Bit, yeah.
compared to the
We've
left.
got
Yeah.
cover up ahead.
The left one
They
makes
still
more
there.
sense.
You
Yeah,
might
there's
take the left
three of
ones.
them now. There.
Yeah, I'm
There's a-
trying to see which
There's a run we can make. It's quite far.
kind of fucked here.
There's
I
a
bid
trench
ahead.
wall front right.
We know there's some there because we saw it on the
quite
way.
a run.
So
I can go for that though.
negative. That's not good cover.
Alright, go.
Let's run then.
Don't go too wide. Go straight to it, and then go prone like soon as you can. Cover and go.
We've got
Oh shit.
Actually, the main problem with the right
Got Vegas
I
members
feel
on the
is,
next
like, the next one is
Yeah, I see him.
Kinda steering to the right.
I saw him.
okay. We can crawl out.
Yeah, that's good. That's what I did.
You got that Cherokee, yeah?
Then you're covered to the 2 towers. I got a hole here, I'm just peeking. We got a blue van about 15 meters. west.
This is Gamatool squads.
I'm using it as a human
nice.
shield.
Yeah, I'm
Very
I'm-
nice.
ignoring getting shot from the left.
What to the back?
Should we go
Safe
left
this
then?
way. Alright, I'm gonna try something.
The hedge is
Hey,
on
they
the
didn't hit
left
me.
of
If
us.
it works, it ain't stupid. I'm set. Careful though, because you got to stay behind the wheel well.
That tower's not in play on the right
I'm
side.
on the left.
Blue team, ignore the tower on the right side if it's shooting you. We're only concerned about the tower on the left.
Should your feet are behind the wheels.
Okay, almost safe.
Can't see over. Right, there's a water off front left. Camber in front. You see it?
I think the one immediate.
Yes, but next.
We're gonna move in a second. Yeah.
Go.
There you go. Go.
Somewhere around here. Yeah, but we'll have to run a bit and then go prone quickly. Ready?
Okay, we got a blue van on our
Okay, I don't know how we're gonna do that.
I wish there was a
Halfway.
Yeah, it's a really long thing.
I think the
Okay, blue team's got
Kimbo,
I think ID 4 people on the wall.
everything that isn't in cover is stupid. Go stand in it.
This one.
Yeah,
Come
there's
again,
one wall.
Shlee, sorry.
to west.
Which side? To my right or to my left? Yeah, to my right, yeah.
So
We've
you
got
see it
three
here without
people
being
here.
exposed.
Have you got 2 blue team members?
Red on the floor.
One of blue to my left.
no reason.
Copy, someone's missing.
Hey Shlee, you need to push to the right hand wall of your position. You need to push there, we need to get over to your position.
Yeah, scene. Yeah, copy that scene. We're moving up now. Go for it, Hans.
Copy. Who's this, Victor? Are you to myself?
I am to yourself.
I'm safe.
I think they're shooting at people that aren't.
Okay, 2 men of my squad right now are moving over towards the north, and then Victor, you come over here.
Go now.
Roger.
Can we crawl out? Left side?
North, roger that.
Yeah,
Doing.
It's a long way.
I don't. I would crawl though.
Negative, it's bad. Bad crawl.
Yeah.
Trench, like, all the way
Right side. Fucked anyways.
Oh shit.
I'll come to cover and I'm gonna patch you up. quickly.
No one's looking here now. We should go now.
They're shooting left. I'm gonna hit a grip.
Oh, okay.
Straight forward.
Be careful.
That was cheeky.
Just
Oh, did you get hit?
I believe so.
Oh,
Is this the goal?
okay.
But
This is it. If you're in the trench, you've made it.
I'm fucking made it.
Nice. Not sure if I got hit there, but
This is Gamatool squads. Any squad members still on the field, you've got 30 seconds to reach the final trench.
30 seconds to
Anyone
make
still
the
left
final
on the
turn.
field, we may take our flank fire adapters
Okay
off.
guys, push in the fucking trenches.
Get hit once.
We would all be dead by now.
Yeah.
They can see it.
Mid.
It is. Also, there's so many
The drum!
Safe! Safe! Yes! Score!
Oh yeah.
Okay, getting quick, getting quick, getting quick.
It's going
forward
towards
to shooting
squads,
back at them.
Endex, bring it to the west.
Index.
I'm not sure that's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest.
Index, please, index. Yeah, fucking. That tower, I thought that tower was for that lane. Taking me off at the van.
Yeah.
I think Stab might have done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I put another couple of boxes down. But mostly just so I can get this. Because I'm an asshole. I saw you with your pea shooters and went, no.
See, I suggested it earlier.
That's an interesting way of spelling lazy bastards.
Right, bring it in. There was some really nice movement there at times. Whichever squad decided it would be a great idea to, I think it was at one point, just properly cover. That was absolutely great. I think we saw each of you, I think for the three of them who did it, I think we saw your legs, and that was it. We just didn't see you, and it was one of the longest moves that you made. So, well done, those men. Everyone who was serpentining, you definitely lose whatever imaginary point system that I'm using. Main reason why serpentining is a bad idea is because there is a point where you are one of the main reasons is that there's a point at which you are standing still, and that also it's going to take you much longer to get from wherever you're going to wherever you're needing to go. You need to be almost as efficient as possible when moving from cover to cover. A lot of the time that does mean stand up and sprint, because it's going to be the fastest possible way to do so. This last time that we're doing it, before we move on to other stuff, then everyone's going to get some very lovely bank fire adapters. But firstly, I am going to throw things to Caesar and Stab to see if either of them have got any comments from what they've seen. I know, Stab, you were coming in kind of about halfway down the course, but if there's anything you wanted to add?
The blue van, guys, if you can see us, we can see you pretty easily. There was one guy in particular, I think I emptied half a mag into him. He was just red spray before. It was a good few minutes before he moved. Yeah, line of sight. If you can see us, chances are we can see you. So just make sure that if you are peeking, you're only peeking, you're not leaving your whole body exposed. There is a multitude of stances that you can be using when you are taking a firing position. I shouldn't have to go over them. You know, you can do the corner crouch, you can do the leans, you can do whatever you want. You know, there's a lot of options here instead of just the standard. Let's move to the edge and have a look. So use your firing positions, use the adaptive stances, and all the rest of it, and you're on for a better win. And obviously, when you can shoot back, make sure that before you move, you can only move 1 foot if the other one's on the ground. So make sure you've always got someone in support.
Awesome. Caesar, anything else?
Not really. Obviously, I was running the course. There was coordination, and there was coordination amongst like inter-team pairs as well. Like when we ran, another team would fill our cover. There wasn't too much oversubscription to specific cover, and it was synced up with when one pair would move and then technically draw fire, another pair would move in to fill the void. So that was pretty good actually. It was pretty on the fly cooperation, and that's what it requires really. But just, I know we're not done here, but this isn't like one special exercise, guys. This is what should be happening every Sunday. This is the kind of attention you need to pay to cover to stay alive more. So don't think it's just like a one-off exercise, like dodge the bullets. This is kind of like attention to detail, and I guess you could say I don't know what the word would be, but focusing on cover and focusing on staying alive. This should happen every Sunday. So.
Agreed.
Bear in mind, cover is not always going to be as obvious as that. Like, cover can be a dip in the ground. It could be a tree, a particularly heavy set sign or lamppost or something like that, it's not always going to be super blatant and super obvious. So yeah, as Caesar said, like pay attention and be observant of the kind of terrain features that are around and what you can use and the bits of cover. You don't have to rush. That's the important thing you should remember. There's no rush to this. If a firefight lasts an hour, it lasts an hour. Shit, there's numerous examples of real world firefights that have gone on for better part of 2 days. Just because in real life people don't want to die, so they take their time. And that's exactly what you guys should be doing. That's it. Sermon over.
Awesome. Right. Back at the start of the course, firstly, anyone who needs to drink, now is about the time you should be drinking. We're not going to be doing those sorts of calls anymore, by the way, on Sundays. If I hear people start calling about hydration over radio, I will just be very angry. But back at the very start of the course, there are blank fire adapters for all your weapons. Those people who have got standard rifles or non-3CB weaponry, there are L85A3s for you to get, those nice shiny rifles.
Okay.
Rules of engagement are, you are absolutely fine to fire on us. Of course, the bullets will not be doing any damage to us, so as long as you're using the BFAs, there should be no problem there. You can use some smoke. I don't want the course is about cover to cover, so using some smoke is fine, but chances are we're just going to start shooting into the smoke. So just be very careful. It's not smoke's concealment, not cover, but we'll be moving on to that a little bit more when we start doing some urban fighting stuff a bit later. So if everyone wants to go back to the start, having had some drinking time, and then I will call you when the course is ready to start. Okay?
Copy.
Yeah, guys, if you want water, ask me for water.
Roger. Can I get some canteen?
Yeah, I'll put some at the start.
Cheers.
Copy.
We need to test a blank round.
I'm so scared.
Did it win you?
Yep.
Oh my god. Victor, this grade's not for you. Move away.
I see a trend.
So I guess
Victor.
You need help?
No, Victor, don't worry, mate.
Sorry, just come over here.
Are you sure
looks
they're
fine.
not rounds for blank people?
Wow.
Oh, where's the adapter, by the way?
Doesn't mean I'm going to the bottom. Yeah, blank
Stabs.
doesn't work. So
Yo.
go to the
Are
LA
we
5 guys,
assuming for
get
this
the
that the
LA5
floating
three,
vehicles are
dig
actually
up
covered to the
machine
ground?
gun maybe, I guess. It was
What
like
floating
last
vehicles?
Training.
There was a
Something
couple of
BFA
floating
with
vehicles at the start
yellow
on
yellow
the
tape.
the
And then
northeast.
Just grab your weapons, okay?
Is it like a silencer?
Yeah, it goes.
Do we need a new rifle? Or is there...
Yes, they
Oh,
should
there-
be at the ground.
You should be able to take the point of fire
Awesome,
down.
thank you.
I have no idea why they're floating, but whatever.
Yeah, I
shot you
took
once.
a
What you
shot
want us
from
to
you
do,
guys
please?
because
Just
I
go to
ran up to the vehicle and
load
went,
that loadout
shit,
and
it's
just grab
floating, and tried to
the
get somewhere else and
BFA
just
weapons
fails.
on these ones.
Sadly, we lost a grenadier. They said that they said we can use smoke, but they never said that should be on the barrel smoke or not. You can just smoke the tower.
Right in the face.
You can just smoke the tower.
I wasn't trying to be cleverer than the Zeus because it's not going to fucking end well.
Where's Shlee?
Where have you put your guns? Have you
Wait,
just got
where
them in
do
your
we-
backpack?
Where do we need to put the gun?
In your backpack.
In my backpack, yeah.
In the backpack? I'm gonna
Or
it's
just
just
drop it
fucking
on.
heavy.
Or Merrick, isn't there room in the crate here?
Let me check. No.
Water crate,
Maybe
maybe?
the water crate maybe?
Yeah, put it in the water crate. Shlee,
Right.
Listening?
we wanna do like red is pushing forward, blue is suppressing,
Okay.
and then we're suppressing and you push forward.
The ammo boxes.
And we'll like peel, but blue will peel when we're moving, and red will peel when they're moving, and obviously
Yes.
we'll cover each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Do you have a blank fire adapter for your pistol?
Negative. But
I see what.
It's gonna be a surprise.
just in case.
I'm
I'll
not saying I'm
this for-
targeting them, but I am. Let's check green. So 285 meters from here.
looks much further.
Don't we need blank magazines?
I don't know. There's only one type of magazines in the crate, so.
Yeah, I guess the adapter is sufficient.
Don't know. Shoot me and find out.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, everyone shoot Bonzo now. No, that was a fucking joke.
Oh yes, a joke. Ha ha ha. Joke.
Hey Victor, how did you get a fucking blank fire adapter on your arm? Where did you get that M4 for?
From the crate.
Which crate?
The same one that we got the rifle from. I just picked the one that looked most similar to our default rifle.
Okay.
What?
No,
think
not here.
someone put it there.
Victor has got abilities to find equipment. You guys have no idea.
He took from the Vegas crate.
No, I don't think it was from the Vegas crate.
I don't know.
No, it could be one of the Vegas
It looked
guys
like
just
that one.
put it
It
somewhere.
is what they're using though. I wouldn't let Vegas know you've got that, Victor. Just.
Oh, I was right there with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, stick with it. It's fine.
I think I found where he got it from. It's in the arsenal.
We have an arsenal.
No, it's fine. Don't
No.
use the fucking arsenal. Everyone
No,
get
don't.
off the crate. Everyone is fine. Get off the crates.
They
Good.
don't have
This
an
is
arsenal.
Gambler 2 Arrow and Dusak. Please confirm in by the letters that you are both ready. Over.
Blue, let's set up on the left in a line.
Arrow set to go.
Dusak set to go.
There are blanks for the rocket launcher.
Get in position, guys.
Hey Ben,
Collapse on me.
yeah, let's go dash for the second vehicles.
Sorry?
Let's go dash for the furthest vehicles.
I think it's likely that they'll misclick. I think it's likely that they'll give us 10 seconds again before they open fire for us to get covered.
Yeah, they
I don't
haven't.
know.
had-
They happened the last time.
Yeah, it was like 2 seconds and already started. shooting.
AURs, just fucking gun him down.
I would say like let's take right side. We can take cover
Yes,
from them
yes,
using that
Yeah,
van
but
and
we're
just
too
go to
many.
them.
We're too many. Yeah, we can't bunch up on that fucking one vehicle. That's the problem.
Okay, let's go to there and to somewhere. And
Let's-
Blue do what they do.
Three.
Yes.
Smoke the cars and run for the walls.
Three most
Sorry,
left
come
blue
again?
people.
Actually, who is the
Go for
first
that.
tree you want to go for the? Well, who tree do you want to go for that?
Go on to
truck?
Vegas Channel 1.
And who do you want
Whoever's
to
on the
continue?
most
Bonzo,
left.
Roger,
Merrick,
we're
you
ready.
go to the blue
Whoever's
track.
on
Let's
me
see
on
Copy
the right,
that.
Victor,
All
Victor
squads,
will go
move
for
out,
the
move
truck.
out. You've got 10 seconds
Moving,
before we
moving,
start
moving,
firing.
moving,
Sorry,
moving,
it's too
moving.
loud.
Go, go, go.
Move.
Bonzo, you're with Merrick. Blue track, blue track, Bonzo,
Peeling,
blue track.
Bro,
Oh, blue as far. When you are in
We
cover,
can
start
fire.
suppressing. Reddish push forward. Red push, red push.
Blue spread.
Have it pushed
fuck earplugs.
Yep.
Fuck. Alright, moving up. Cover.
Red team. Merrick. Bonzo, hold your position.
Blue team
Start
focus on
suppressing for
cover.
blue.
Blue team start moving up.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for the fucking straight west. The
You need,
fucking.
you need to cover. Blue team focus on cover. Focus on cover.
Only.
Peeling right.
Loading.
Oh, I got hit.
Close lines be advised, accurate suppression will prevent us firing upon you.
You guys want to cover if I go straight, like straight west?
Hey, did you understood that, Shlee? What did you say? Air
Alright.
suppression.
That's
What?
good.
Accurate
Sorry?
suppression will stop them
black
from
and
shooting at us.
stamina.
Do you want blue team to suppress?
I'm
I'll
covered.
move.
Gambler 1, please take it last.
Well, not completely, but I'm not getting shot at.
If suppression is accurate enough, it'll prevent any of us from firing upon you.
Blue's moving.
Fantastic.
Copy, red suppress,
Oh, wait,
red
what?
suppress.
Yeah, we can
Blue,
stay
tell
prone
me
the
when you're
entire
positioned.
way.
Huh?
Blue set
We
will
can go
go.
prone for the next cover.
Copy,
need to cover,
start suppressing,
cover.
red's pushing. Red is suppressing.
Reloading.
Where the fuck are you, Ben?
Blue's moving.
Are we moving?
Blue's moving. Red suppress.
Moving.
We're suppressing. Red is suppressing. Blue, are you in position?
Negative.
Deck 6. Sorry, Bonestorm Merrick's are suppressing. Reloading.
I've been suppressing for 2 mags.
Blue suppress.
Loading.
If I on the approach, we should probably use
Oh,
smoke.
fuck, stick suppress, guys.
Red. Merrick, why are you moving?
Because blue is suppressing?
Mag.
I don't care if they get hit. I'm running low.
280 boys, smoke here.
Huh?
Smokes?
Negative, no smoke.
Smokes? Go
Roger.
back.
Yeah, I'll go for smoke.
Mag.
Let the wind take it.
Okay, blue
Oh,
push,
fucking
blue
wind
push.
turned.
Blue's moving. We're moving, guys. Wait for red suppression.
Right side.
Moving.
Oh shit, don't go left. Go right, sorry. Going left.
You can just move up and move.
Do you know where they're moving? Hello, Shlee.
Hello. Moving up.
Hey, Shlee.
Cut straight to the smoke.
Red on me. Red on me.
What the fuck?
Press from up here.
I thought we were pushing.
Stamina.
In the trench.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, going in.
25.
The fuck happened?
I shot
You
your head.
stood
sorry.
up.
Sorry.
No, don't worry. I didn't feel it, man.
I'm like seriously zero stamina.
Blue, are you in the trench?
We're in the trench, we're providing some.
Copy. Keep up the suppression.
Logging.
Mag.
Reloading.
Stabs don't give a
Up and
fucking shit.
Loading.
Reloading again.
And then down.
Shit, I'm out.
We're gonna move inside.
Loading.
Another thing.
Down to last mag.
Last mag.
Peel in left. Crossing blood.
Out.
Yep. Bone him in.
No.
Out. Fuck.
Bone, we can make it. Never mind. You guys
Standing up is done.
Yeah?
Could you suppress for us?
We're providing suppression.
We're gonna make a run for it.
Yeah, copy.
These are all out.
Okay.
You're all out.
Does that provide suppression?
Most of us, yeah.
Vegas, they're assaulting the town.
Out.
There you go, guys.
Reloading.
Keep up the suppression.
Oh,
Moving.
Fuck.
Don't move in.
Pistol so you can kill them.
Oh, you're out as well.
Converging.
The
There you go,
5.56 ones are fine.
There you go, I'll give you loads.
Oh, I didn't need any knees out.
Alright.
Shit, there was only one bullet in
Thank
your
you.
mag.
Thank you. Alright.
Alright. You want to smoke as well?
Negative on smoke.
Yo, this is our chance, Bone.
Go, go.
I shot them all.
Fucking go.
I'm gonna throw morphine at them.
Hold fire, hold fire.
Take that morphine.
One moving.
Pew 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 pew.
Should we call it there, Ben?
Come again, Shlee.
Should we call it that we're in the trench?
Yes, I call it over. 1 second. Gambler, this is Dasek.
And?
All of us are in the trench right now.
Copy that. Your side of the exercise has ended. Please move to the west. Arrow, please continue.
Arrow copy.
I think we cheated
Nice.
using the smoke.
Well, we didn't cheat. He said don't abuse it. We didn't, did we? Well, we might have did at the end though, but we were already pushed up.
Not sure smokes were permitted. That's what I'm feeling we're gonna get told.
That's where we all just dropped dead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna swap out one weapon.
Just wanted to call out gas.
You guys get ammunition if you need it.
Oh, shots.
Are we getting our rifles back? What's happening?
No, no one's told us to do anything, so you shouldn't be anywhere near the crates either, really, should you?
I
Come on,
said
guys.
to Rio.
You know this.
Sorry, Stubbs.
Standard procedure. That includes you, Victor. You're not fucking special. Get away from the crate.
Yeah, sorry.
Attention to detail, gentlemen. Attention to detail.
I can only run the game on low.
What?
Just kidding.
Nice
I can't see
shades,
details.
Stubbs.
What?
Nice shades.
Hey, this is Gamma to all units. NX.
Shields my eyes from all the bullshit.
Hold fire.
Well, I'm deaf. Fucking earplugs.
Do you want to respawn and teleport back in?
I probably will, yeah.
Full on
hate that
spunk
for a job,
deflectors.
Shlee here. Shlee, thank you.
For the magazine?
For shooting at things.
Okay, excellent. No problem on it.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, but if you but I think they were rushing. But if you take something away from it, like if you're slow because you're thinking what you're doing and being methodical, that's what training's about, isn't it?
Yeah.
True.
Arrow present.
Awesome. Yeah, solid movement, guys. There. A good combination there between the smoke and the bounding and the fire was at times monumental. Probably a lot higher than you can actually reasonably get in missions. When Stabs is talking about these firefights that last for an hour or days, you do have to make sure that you have the ammo to survive that firefight for hours or days. So I think we would probably have been suppressed with about half as much fire, if not slightly less, than the amount of fire that was coming out with us. Not that we want to discourage you from suppressing, absolutely not, but it's just something to bear in mind. There were 3 of us in each of those towers at maximum, so just be aware of that. Smoke was great. Smoke use was really good, especially most notable ones just on that southeast side, right towards the end there, where you were effectively completely covered. We couldn't see a damn thing. Only thing I would say is that just because the smoke is up doesn't necessarily mean that you should stop with the suppression entirely. I know it does bring attention to exactly where you are and we can fire back, but the smoke is concealment. It doesn't mean that we can't shoot through it, because if we see a load of smoke, certainly one that's covering an enemy position, you know full well that when the enemy smokes out and doesn't cover themselves fully, or even when they do cover themselves fully, we still suppress. We and Gamblers still suppress. I'm sure Vegas is happy to put smoke rounds down into enemy smoke if and when necessary. So just be aware of that. Just because you have put smoke up doesn't mean that you shouldn't then be attempting some sort of suppression as well. You can slow it down a little bit just because you do have that concealment, and those people running probably have a lot more of a chance, but you absolutely have to make sure that suppression is still going down. Anything to add, Stan?
No, that's pretty much covered. Just, rate of fire, guys, it can be a lot less than that. You don't need to go all out for these prolonged firefights, as well said. And again, with smoke usage, make sure you're trying to cover where you're going to, not just your movement. because otherwise we can literally just aim to the next obvious point of cover and stay there and wait for you to pop your heads back up. So, especially for like PvP, I mean, obviously against AI it's not such a thing, but PvP, you know, you want to kind of smoke should aid in the confusion of where you're moving to next. It's concealing your next objective. So bear that in mind and make sure you're trying to cover these approaches and where you're moving to. And that's pretty much it.
Awesome. And yeah, not that you could really use it in these particular circumstances because of the weapons I'd given you, or we'd given you, but if we'd managed to give you underslungs, or those people who'd had underslungs, if you put a smoke grenade so that it covers our tower, we can't see a damn thing. And you've had to put one smoke down. So it's something we'll go into a bit more now that we're moving into kind of our next set of things. Stab, would you prefer them to remain together or split in two?
I'll leave it in your hands, mate, honestly.
Alright. Okay, what we'll do next then is if everyone wants to go back through, we'll just be going back to the base respawn. So if people want to come through to the base respawn, we're going to be moving directly east from the forest.
We need more mags.
I do.
We need to go back to base respawn.
Who needs mags?
Me, Zenny.
I got some for you, buddy.
Oh,
Down to all squads, you're looking for
there you are.
smoke, blue smoke.
God, these smokes really go up a lot more than the standard vanilla smokes.
Do we need to be on them at all, though?
Not yet, no. There's not going to be a huge amount of gunfire going down as yet.
It's a really nice smoke.
Thank you. I drew it myself.
Tended to it with love and care.
Yeah.
He knew it when it
Kind
was
of
just a
thought about
pin.
where I was going to throw it. It's something we'll talk more about when we do urban combat, which hopefully we'll get onto today. So, as much as I know people like doing trainings on other maps, it would be nice if we had a couple of individual trainings as well. But what we'll be doing now is just quickly going through some movement in the woods. So, on Sunday, those people who had a slightly better view of the surroundings, or those people who are following behind the squads, that all the squads are moving through the forest in a column formation, which is great when you're in a Vietnam level scenario. You don't have radios, and you need to be able to keep track of the person in front of you. But in all honesty, we have ShackTac, we've got radios, we have great communication between people in the squad. So column formation, unless there is a known minefield in the woods, or unless you come across a minefield in the woods, or under some very other limited circumstances, which I'm not going to go into right now, you should be moving through the woods in either wedge formation or extended line. And the reason for that is that, or certainly in circumstances where we are moving into known or unknown enemy territory, you absolutely need to be able to get as much firepower downrange as quickly as possible. And if you try shooting forward when you're in column formation, you'll probably just hit the man in front of you. So this will be very quick. So could I have Dusak in a wedge formation, please, facing east, just on the edge of the woodland, please?
Copy, Lexix, your point, man. Red on right, blue on left.
Blue left.
Right, now Ben, I want you to run it in until all of your guys are in the forest and then just stop. I'll call you when. And everyone else will be following them in just as a big bunch.
Move out. Lexix, move out.
Moving out.
Slow jog.
and hold. 10 more meters, then hold. Hold.
Hold.
Holding.
Campbell Static, we're holding position.
You can take cover, guys, when you're holding.
Security.
Right, so, as you can see, fellas.
Dusak, if you could all just stand up momentarily, please. Everyone stand up.
Alright, have a look around there, you can see the kind of area that is now being covered if their weapons are all facing forward, right? That is a much, much larger area with a pretty much complete 180-degree coverage to their front. And if you're advancing to contact, that's the kind of thing that you need and that you have to have. If that was condensed into single file now and they're going through the woods, they basically, although they should technically have eyes 360 degrees, the enemy has got a much, much better chance of spotting them before you spot them. Do you all understand?
Definitely, yeah.
Right. Although it's a little bit harder to control.
Right, does actually bring it in place quicker.
A little bit harder to control.
Everyone's back to the steps.
As a squad,
Free group, guys.
If you're marching on a bearing or something like that, it can be a lot more tricky. However, you've got to think about the times that you use these different formations. Extended line basically does exactly the same thing. However, you would use extended line, which is shoulder to shoulder, spread kind of 5-10 meters apart. You would use that if you knew exactly where the enemy position was, and you're basically advancing to engage that contact. A wedge or arrowhead, or however you want to describe it, going through a woodland like this gives good cover when you don't really know what you're up against. You know, essentially you've got weapons facing out to your left side. However, you obviously got 2 AURs on either side that can cover the rear as well. So pretty straightforward, right? That doesn't need much explaining. What does need going over, and we can very quickly practice this because Wilhelm's unfortunately crashed out, is what happens when you take contact in a woodland scenario. Now, I assume that all squads, or certainly should, all squads have a buddy team system going. Yay? Nay?
Arrow copies.
Cool. Right, so
That's the case.
it'd probably be the man to your left or the man to your right in this situation. Now, you take contact in a woodland like this, and you have to essentially do exactly what you were doing before in that cover scenario, but apply it to woodland. So you're moving in your buddy teams, and it is important you move in your buddy teams through the woodland. If you try and move as a fire team, what you're going to find is that the whole squad condenses and they're all aiming for the entire for one tree. If you're moving as pairs, then chances are you're going to pick different trees every single time because you can see exactly where that man to your left or right is going. If you're doing it as an entire squad, trust me, I've seen it happen plenty of times, the whole squad condenses down and you're bunched up and then one grenade kills everybody. Moving as a pair, you can basically do your individual fire and movement with your buddy, going from tree to tree, especially in dense woodland like this, and you can cover ground very, very well while still maintaining fire team level fire support because 4 of you are moving, 5 of you are suppressing, or vice versa, or however many people you've got. Do you all understand that?
Yep.
Yes.
Right. So going back to school days, I want you to buddy off now, pair off, essentially pick 2 trees. You've got the direction, or the whole direction to the east, getting one big straight line, and then when I shoot, just do your reaction to contact drills, and I just want you to move or advance kind of 30 meters forward with your buddy, just shouting at each other. Shoot, scream, make lots of noise. The more distractions, the better for this type of training. So, as you are now, just one big straight line. Just make sure your buddy's next to you.
Copy. American Bullsaw, me and Lexi.
Spread out as much as you need to. Spread out.
Just use your own
Hanson, Joe,
Yep.
you work together, please.
Shlee, you're taking organizing blue team.
Yep, doing that.
Okay, you can do
Victor,
it as a
what?
3-man as well.
Charlie will go 3-man.
I'll just
Satoshi,
tag on
we're good.
with
We'll go
you
3-man.
two, Victor and Warhog. Yeah, I'll just follow you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're ready.
King?
Yeah, we are as well.
Like it was
we
in
are
the previous
most
one, mate, you'll be
side,
just ahead of me and Cherokee, moving as one entity.
Right, just go into a straight line, guys. Just if you're extended line, just extend the line, extend the line, extend the line. Just extend the line, guys. Just spread it all out.
Let's form
You're on my
an
left, Cherokee,
extended
yeah?
line to the...
King on my right, yeah? Me.
Okay, start patrolling forward when you're ready.
Going into
On your go.
Vegas.
Should all be walking at default pace. Should be walking.
Right, guys. Blue,
You are
blue team, you need to move up to red team, go about east.
if you are
So let's step
sprinting.
off.
Contact!
Contact!
Like, recover. Move to next ring.
Hold
Got
position.
no ID on your position,
You
I
have
believe
contact
it's myself.
300 meters to your front.
Let's go. Come on, push.
Yeah, we move southern.
You good to go?
Copy, we'll peel behind Gambler and regroup with you.
Copy.
Hear that, guys? We're gonna go behind friendlies and regroup with them.
What up?
Everyone can hear you behind all this mess.
We'll try and get to the blue team. We're gonna move to the right of blue. Sorry. Blue team are gonna move to the right of red.
Legal.
Blue team,
Copy,
right of
we're
red, let's go.
holding position.
Let's keep moving, right, guys. No, you're not covering. Blue team's
Push forward, 3 to 3.
Blue team's moving.
Moving.
Moving. Victor, pay attention, buddy. We're moving to the right of red team.
Yeah.
Moving right. Let's keep going. Blue team, move to the right of red team. Keep peeling right. Move behind them.
Hold fire, hold fire, hold fire. RTB.
Hold fire.
Holding fire. That's much fire anyway.
Everyone's out of ammo.
Set.
No idea where everyone's gone. Lost 2 of blue team.
Yeah, all good, mate, all good. I thought that would be a whole...
Yeah, kind of get set up. Not just kind of like everyone's mixed in with each other.
Yeah, next time we do better.
Second was nice. Nicely done, guys. Nicely done. Remember, rate of fire shouldn't be too high.
Yeah, it's a good point, mate. It's a very valid point.
Okay, gather up, gather up, gather up. Caesar, good.
Gather
I
up.
borrow 2 of your best guys just for a quick demo of that, please.
Any volunteers? Terra and William, well volunteered.
Sure.
Up in
Right.
front with stab.
Folks, that was decent. However, there's just a couple of things I want to cover. Hopefully you can see the benefit of doing that in body pairs. The key thing to take away from that is you're obviously have to be very aware of your arcs and who's crossing in front or who's crossing over, and also your communication. There's no need to be screaming and shouting at each other, telling people when to move, when not to move, all the rest of it. It's very straightforward. You both start off, you both do your RTR drills, which is a few rounds down, and then you prep to move on the squad leaders go. Once you do that, and then you start breaking it down into pairs, it's real simple for one man to start firing and just to scream set or move. The opposite man moves, drops down, and you're only going like tree to tree. You're not going 20-30 meters ahead. You can do this in like 5-meter bounds. There doesn't have to be a massive tree there, just some form of cover for yourself. As soon as you're down, you scream set or move, next person moves, and on it flows until you get into a position to assault the enemy field. Understand?
Copy.
So Vegas is now going to do a very quick demo, just so you can see that in motion. So pick a couple of trees, guys, and just do your comms as you would. Make sure you're on shout so everyone can hear you, and whenever you're ready.
Sure, you want us to move east?
Yeah, roger.
Okay.
In fact, if you could go like kind of north-south, just across the front.
North-south, copy.
Alright, and obviously just doing a demo with 2 people just so it's a bit easier to see as a demonstration. But really this is your bread and butter. This is the stuff that you should be doing and nailing every single operation. Like this can be implemented into
CQB, or any kind of environment, the same principles apply. When you're ready, lads.
Contact direct south. I'm covering if you want to move up on the left. Covering.
Guys, watch Scrambler.
I'll get somewhere where you can see them.
Moving, peeling on your right, left.
Victor. Look up.
Your left. Set. Covering.
As soon as one man's set and putting rounds down, the other man's good to go. Now, if you can't hear each other by voice, you can listen for their rounds or their weapon to start kicking off, especially if you know that your buddy has a different weapon system to yourself.
Okay, I'm going to move on your right.
Alright, thank you guys. Thank you, we'll bring it in. Thank you very much. I say, it's not rocket science, but it does require practice and it does require some form of discipline between yourself and your buddy and just as a team in general to pull that off as a squad without getting all fucked up and messed up amongst each other. Although you're operating as a buddy team, you still have to listen in for what your squad leader's saying. The enemy could move, you have to communicate that through. You could get contact from a different direction, you have to communicate that through, etc, etc, etc. Bringing it back to why we travel in extended line or arrowhead. Imagine trying to pull off that maneuver when you're all in single file. You'll all be fucking dead before you've even got into position. One burst from a PKM or an AK or something is going to take out half your squad before you've even got into position. And if you're patrolling the way you should, in single file with your squad leader kind of second or third man, then your squad leader's down instantly. So, very, very important that you use your terrain to your advantage and you only kind of go into certain drills depending on the terrain that's there. But it shouldn't need explaining to you on a Sunday what drills to use. You're going through a different few stages now. Start thinking about how you can react and how you can move. You saw, like, I fired off straight away. You did your reaction to contact, and you went into your battle drills, and you started moving forward. On a Sunday, it seems that someone shoots at you, and you all get down, and the battle drills don't kick in. You just stay stationary and see what happens. Battle drills are important. Advancing to contact is important. And one last thing before we move on, now Wilhelm's back in. Your default pace on operations, your default pace should be walking. It should not be the slow jog, it should not be running, it should be fucking walking. Slow jog is to get somewhere with a purpose, sprinting is to get somewhere with a fucking purpose, and walking is just to get there. Understood?
Copy.
Yeah. Copy.
So I don't want to see people running. And not only that, it's much, much harder to control formations or squad movements when half your people are constantly worrying about stamina. All your stamina should be saved when you hear those rounds start kicking off and you can jump into your contact drills. Alright? Stabs out. Over to Wilhelm. Thank you,
trick stabs into doing like a good chunk of your training without worrying about it. Very flawless takeover stabs, thank you. It was just like C-tab crash, and immediately Stabs is doing exactly. Bearing in mind that we've not actually discussed this part of the training at all, so he went in and did exactly what I thought he would, which is great. So we're just going to move a little bit further east, just because while we've got a road relatively near us, I just want to discuss something that did happen on Sunday that we should be using much more often. So if people want to continue moving east, squads use this as an example, the time to quickly go into wedge or extended line formations. Just practice when moving in your wedge formations, stuff like that. Just do as Stab said, and make sure that you're aware of where your nearest cover is, just in case you do need to move as quickly as possible. Stop yourself accidentally tuning out, because we've all done it. All right, let's move out east.
Copy.
3-0, wedge on me.
Ben, reckon we shift to the right a bit and let Arrow develop.
Yeah.
East wedge.
Okay, same wedge as before, guys.
On left.
Blue left?
Yes, blue left, red right, leg sticks point.
Copy.
Moving out east.
We're in. Started move.
Who's behind me?
I think we're the middle of this is good.
Can I push in there, Hanson, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna figure out where the fuck our squads are.
East, south, no, actually, yeah, just east on the bearing of, let's say, one.
What formation are we?
We're in wedge. Wedge formation.
Yeah, something's wrong with that batch.
Lexix, is this me or you're moving diagonally?
Yes.
We're moving away from Arrow. Or someone.
Come again, what we're doing?
We're on top of our blue team, and we're shifting out away from.
Sorry, got confused.
Continue straight east now.
I was as well
Looks
for a
like
second,
we
yeah.
go.
Also, it's walking pace.
Contact front, contact front, return fire, down.
Victor, buddy? Moving?
Blue team's moving. Blue move.
Bone, move!
Crossing.
Go.
Pushing.
Who's to my right now?
They got
Set.
Okay, go.
Tell me when you're set, Bone.
Heading is
Set.
east, bearing 100.
Crossing.
Blue team trying to form a line. Blue set.
Right, Alex.
I'm set.
Ready
Blue
suppressing.
Blue's moving.
Ready set, suppressing.
Oh god, there's no cover.
One was thing.
Oh shit. There's nowhere to go. And a bit forward. Pew pew. No, on the right side. Pew pew pew. Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew. Oh, you
Lex,
can
sorry,
go.
Merrick, also, move up.
What?
Contact down, hold fire.
Right, moving.
Hold fire, hold fire, hold fire.
Stopping the pew pew.
Alright, Endex, move to the east.
Moving east, wedge on legs. Moving east, wedge on
You're
legs.
looking for roughly just the eastern side of the white smoke.
Following you, Arg. Looks like you got separated guys there. You blue team you to the north somewhere, perhaps.
Yes, we are. Move towards the white smoke, legs. Eastern side of white smoke.
Acknowledge. 15.
Shifting northeast.
Copy.
Everyone loves it when we have to be forced to put it into action without realizing it.
Well, it's hard to play with imagination.
True.
Gambler Vegas, continue with that, so we'll be joining you shortly. We're just fulfilling drills.
I love doing my imagination.
Copy that.
Don't want to know what's in my imagination.
Do you know what? It was about halfway through that exercise and I realised that when someone was stood somewhat in front of me, I was probably the only one in the entire platoon without a blank fire adapter on. Because of course I've come back in and I was like, oh yeah, let's not accidentally hit anyone. Anyway, very good. Good reaction times there. And as well as that, some nice movement. Just something we need to keep up. If you ever want to do, like, you know, those extra little bits of training and you want to get that squad cohesion up, then practicing bounding even in random buddy teams, even between squads, it's always going to add that squad and platoon cohesion. So, this is something, as I mentioned, came up on Sunday. We asked people about it afterwards, and they had no idea what Stabs was talking about. And it is crossing a road when you're in hostile territory, and you have no idea what's going to come down it. And overall, the principles are not that similar, or not that dissimilar to crossing and opening when you're moving between buildings. So, could I have a I need 2 LMG stand-ins, please. So 2 LMG volunteers.
Bonesaw,
Yo.
Warthog.
Bonesaw and Kimbo, you're stood up and you're close. Right, so this would be your ideal situation where your squad has got both AURs in. I appreciate that AURs are frequently the one where if you have less than 9, it's the first one dropped. But when you come to this sort of area, what you do is you much have, for a start, there's not a huge amount you can do about covering every possible angle or covering every possible thing for every possible threat. But Kimbo, what I would like you to do is I would like you to lie down facing north-northeast and make sure that you're in a position where you can cover that road.
Set.
Awesome. Right. Bonesaw, want you to... Stabs, please correct me if I'm doing this wrong. Bonesaw, cross the road, face south.
Cover south.
Sorry. Sorry, cover south there.
So you, at this point, sorry, just because I went through it and I remember,
Yeah.
I'll just take over real quick. So essentially, guys, this would happen in cover as best you could. So you wouldn't come all the way out to the edge of the road before you did this. Squad leader would organise this kind of in the woods a little bit further. First guy he'd send out is 1 AUR to cover one direction. He would then send either himself, so we can get a good visual of what's happening, or someone pretty close to him, not in an emotional sense either, out to the road to cover, in this case, the south side. The reason we cover in both angles is because we're about to send somebody across, and we don't want anyone who is watching that road to get that poor fucker as he just sprints on his own and not have a clue who's shot him. So the first thing you do, you just get a random rifleman. At this point, say Lexix would be the man. He'd stay in his bit of cover there by that tree and get into a position where he can cover the south side of the road. Everyone would then stack up, getting ready to cross. But the first man to go would be Bonesaw. So once that southern side is covered by Lexix in this instance, Bonesaw would be running across, find himself a nice little tree to hide behind, and set up facing south down the road. Do so now, please, Bonesaw. And he's sprinting across the road, and he's making sure he doesn't get shot at. And if he does get shot at, he wants to be looking for a muzzle flash, puff of smoke, or anything else. So he then gets himself set up facing south, bipod up, ready to rock and roll. Lexix would then come off his covering point there and rejoin his position in the formation. At that point, everyone's stacked up and ready to cross. Wilhelm, back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So what you effectively want is the entire squad over the road as quickly as possible. Doesn't mean that you bunch up. You still keep your spacing because, of course, random vehicle running down the road with its PKM blazing will get many of you. So it's just a case of as many people as possible in as open space as possible, crossing the road as quickly as possible, and taking up covering positions. Because at the end of this, poor Kimbo's going to be on his own on the other side of the road. So
hostiles north.
And in their words, Kimbo. So if we could have Dusak, please, if you could be, if you could set yourselves up at this point in time, getting or just everyone else give them some space so that they can start crossing the road as quickly as they can.
Copy, Dusak, form up.
Essentially, folks, once you get to the other side of the road, if you have the space and the cover to do so, you want to pretty much set up in some form of herringbone and essentially cover in both directions when you're on that other side, be it in a linear formation or extended line in your direction of travel, whatever. But essentially, you all need to be in a position of cover before everyone is across the road. You don't really want to carry on the patrol on the other side just in case something happens on the road at the end. You want to get every man across, everyone over the road, everyone off position of cover before your patrol carries on. So once you get onto the other side, you find some cover. Let's say the direction of travel is going to be east. So you got your 2 points of contact there to cover in both sides. When you're ready, first man will step off.
Copy. Lexix, is it ready?
Right, the people that are left behind, you want to be shoulder to shoulder and bunched up as close as you can because you want this going real quick. Chances are you're going to be doing this at night or in areas of extreme threat. Wait. Come back. Although you're going across as quickly as possible, if I was a lone guy watching that road then, I would have just seen one man after the other running across before the other man is set on the other side. Although you've got positions of cover, or covering fire for your crossing, you want to be going one man, next man, next man. Wait until they're on the other side of the road and in their bit of cover, or certainly off the road before the next man goes. So when you're bunching up like this now, Lex 6, you want to be facing the direction of travel. Ben, if you get like tuck right into him and let's say face north, you want to be shot
Well,
like,
back
right
up.
up against him. Next man facing south, right up against him. Next man facing north, right up against him. And then Victor, you want to be facing out. If you're the last man, for example, or who is the last man? But you alternate, just alternate all the way down until the last man faces the direction that he's just come from. And then as each person's crossing, all you're doing is shuffling down a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, until the last man is right there. So, and then you want to recreate this on the other side, but in better cover, obviously, than what you are now. So Lexix cross.
Cross.
Sorry, my dog puked. I have to go.
So shuffle down,
Cross.
shuffle down, shuffle down. Shuffle down, shuffle down, shuffle down, shuffle down, shuffle down. Go, next man, go.
Crossing.
Shuffle and we'll keep that cover.
Crossing.
Go. That's it, get going.
Crossing.
Crossing.
Now, Hanson, you want to be telling Kimbo that you're the last man as you go.
Last man crossing.
Roger.
Right, then on the other side of the road. That's it.
Last man bounce up.
Copy.
And now you're good to get up and start moving on and carrying on with patrol. Right, reset, bring it back.
Fucking love this map.
I wanted to ask something before. Yeah.
Yep.
I did it last time when we crossed on the last mission. One was looking, what was it, north now? The next one was crossing south down, and then okay, north, south, north, until everyone crossed. Was it correct?
What, when you looking or?
Yeah, covering. When we crossed the road on the other side of the road.
Yeah. Like I said, you're recreating what you had on this side, which was one person covering.
Okay.
I've just bunched everyone up, so it's just easier to manage. But the key is you're keeping people close together for the crossing itself, so you to expedite the move. Come back over, Bonesaw. You're right, man. All right. Does everyone understand the principles behind that?
Yep.
Right. The key thing to remember, guys, is there's different types of movement and different types of travelling as you're going through. You're doing this kind of thing when you don't want to be detected, you're in hostile territory, you don't know where anything is, you're just advancing to a general area or objective, and you don't really want to be spotted by civilians or enemy patrols or anything like that. You're maintaining a very, very high level of alertness by doing this. Then there's other times where you know exactly where the objective is, and then you're basically tabbing or tactical advance to battle, whereas you're just running toward that objective because you know and you're going to go and kick ass and take names. This style of movement is a lot more tactical, and you shouldn't be just sprinting everywhere or doing anything. The objective is to maintain cover, because from my future missions I'm going to make this moving around stuff much more difficult for you, and I'm sure the mission makers are leaning that way also, as you saw from Sunday. Just because there's an objective doesn't mean to say there's not going to be any enemy en route to that objective. We're going to start defending these objectives as we would any normal way. So that's it. That's your basic obstacle crossing practice.
Yeah, let's do one. Let's see if we can get them across, or each squad across once. I think we have to do urban next week, or not next week, but we can do urban another time. But yeah, let's get practices in.
Right, split off into your groups. Squad leaders take over and just get your boys across to a point where you're happy.
Copy. That's like moving
Copy.
south 50 meters.
Copy.
Moving south 50 meters.
Alright.
I will take this location.
Sounds good. Watch out for Warthog. He's currently cleaning up dog
puke.
For him.
Drink.
What is Warthog doing?
I'm so
His dog
What?
threw up.
Okay.
Poor dog.
Yeah, poor dog.
Okay.
Sucks to be that dog, dude.
What dog?
Drinking.
Yeah. Top dog. Is there any way to move the micro dagger to the left side?
Yep.
No.
Yes, you need to. Yes, there is actually a way configure your HUD. I think it's.
You can make it bigger and smaller as well.
Right, 3-0.
But you have to restart the game to change it.
Nope.
Yes, that's
Got it. Oh, no?
Just close it and open it again.
Okay, guys. We got. Warthog is not here. Yeah? So we got one LMG.
Yeah, just do so.
Bonzo.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So like we do it like we did before. This time we have a red team on front. Lexix. Yeah, line up. Red team line up in front of me. Lexix. Yeah. Sean.
Oh no.
Awesome. Do you have a? No, you don't.
We can pretend Sean's got a LMG.
Arrow, this is Tracer Bravo, message over.
Oh yeah, Sean. You want to pretend you have?
This is Arrow Sanded.
Woman, okay.
Tracer Bravo element is gonna move on behind you. Over.
I said we want
Copy
to
that.
pretend you have a LMG.
No, just pretend like I'm normally 3-0.
Okay, copy you. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Merrick, get in between Bonesaw and Lexix, and then blue team line up behind me, and Shlee's last.
Copy. You sure you want me last man or in the middle of blue?
Yeah, I want him all the time. I see into I see as far as possible from each other for the fire teams to not get shot both at the same time.
Okay, I usually don't keep the ICs at the back just in case. You know they can keep.
Yeah, we have Sean behind you.
Yeah, I'll just tag on the arse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Victor, you palm up into that thing, please.
Yeah.
I'm on the back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can take the rail.
I'm on the back.
Victor,
Victor,
get in
follow me.
between. Victor, get in between
Yeah,
Hansen and Shlee. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, Bonesaw. Merrick. The fuck.
Yes.
Bonesaw, you line up on that road now, facing northeast.
Yeah.
Lexix. You cross. Lexix.
Yes?
You should be in front of Merrick now.
I don't know what the fuck is Merrick doing.
Yeah.
You told me to be
Move forward a
between
bit.
Lexic or whatever.
Okay. Okay, now everyone is lined up. Lexix, you cross over, covering southeast
Cross
west
them?
now.
Wait, don't cross yet. Need one person
Why?
to look south, and then someone crosses.
Where was Merrick looking?
North.
Oh, okay. Okay, get back again, Lexix.
What's that last?
Yes.
Okay, Merrick, you cover south now, because Lexix is about to cross over.
Copy.
Okay, Lexix, you cross over now.
You need to move to a covering position, Merrick. I guess you can see down the road there.
Yeah, you can.
Wait,
Okay.
wasn't Lexic supposed to be standing on the road?
Lexus, you need
No.
to cover south on the road.
Oh my god.
Old Merrick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Ben, should we just quickly go through
Yeah.
it again? So,
yeah, this is absolutely true what you are saying right now. I don't know, we've done it for
Set.
evidence before.
so we don't have
okay.
another LMG, but we'll pretend Lexus.
So I should cross now.
Okay. Sorry, what was it, Merrick?
I should cross now, right?
You should cross now.
Crossing.
And then cover left, Merrick, when you get there.
Merrick, you need to cover north now.
There you go, guys. We're getting it.
Crossing.
And then Sean, you're gonna announce last man.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Crossing.
Somebody should cover east.
Somebody covering this way.
Don't worry about it, Victor.
Okay, crossing.
Crossing.
Crossing last.
Watching east.
Yeah.
You know, in a situation, 'cause we've got like,
Right now, you can move. Bonesaw.
you probably be best to send one more man east.
When last man's called, you can cross.
Did not hear last man.
Cross.
Yeah, everyone, get back.
I'm
Do
getting
this
cover.
again. This was a bit sloppy, yeah.
It was good though. We got there in the end.
Yeah, in the end.
Yeah, Bonso, as soon as you hear last man, you get ready to move.
I noticed we were missing one man at this corner watching this on this side.
Yeah, I know that on the other side we have someone on both sides looking, but on this way we just get someone to temporarily do it while someone crosses and sets up and does it.
Okay, this time we line up properly. This would be Lexix on front, then Bonesaw, then Merrick, then me. Lex6. Get on
Lexix on
front.
front.
Just go behind me, goddammit.
We're stuck behind
I
you.
was waiting.
Okay, right now, Lex6
Right, so watch
is
Vic.
covering south. Bonesaw, you cover the road northeast.
Yeah. Train track, like another road.
Move,
Get into
move,
cover.
please, and cover the south northeast,
I
please.
still need to make those full trains.
Okay, nice. Merrick, you cross over now and cover southwest.
You could do it.
Okay.
You just have to restrict, like the AI.
Okay,
would have to
Lex6 now, you
restrict
move
it
over
to
and
make
cross
invisible
over
paths.
northeast. Cover
You
over.
just drive along.
Then I cross over and cover southeast. And then the rest is crossing.
Yep.
Crossing.
Right. Then obviously we'll be in formation,
Crossing.
looking left, right, Victor.
Crossing.
Crossing.
I thought you were about to say fast dropping off a train.
Crossing my plus man.
No.
Okay, guys, bring it back in when you're ready, please.
Good stuff, guys.
Okay. Yeah, there was a much better. What we didn't have right now, Bones. So when you cross over, I would expect that you cover the west cover, kind of. So we have a 360 around here. So then every direction is covered.
Okay, doke.
But it wasn't wrong what you did. So I would, yeah.
These fucking pine trees, dude, are fucking annoying.
What is
So
annoying?
big. These pine trees, you can't see shit.
Yeah. Okay, collapse on steps.
Hey, Jim, you want to come with?
For what?
Oh, sorry. Oh, he's just still cleaning up his store.
To the east.
Yeah. As a three-man group, we would definitely do that.
I was just merely pointing out a fact. I didn't know where you were, dude.
No, no offense taken or anything like that, but I was just saying, in terms of tactical, like I could see across the entire thing. So
It's a team effort, though, isn't it? Not everyone's got all the answers. Like if you've got that good visual, then you say Kimbo or Toshi or whatever. Yeah,
that's all I was saying.
I've got that in it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Right. So, obviously, we're not expecting that drill to be carried out every single time you have to cross a road or something like that. It's all about the situation and the point of the advance to contact or the patrol or something like that. So don't think that just because you see a road, you're like, oh shit, we've got to adapt the drills. That's not necessarily the case, although the principle should always apply. That principle of having cover wherever you're going, and not being caught with your trousers down. Essentially, that's the key part or key takeaway from all of this, or certainly should be at least. Hanson, you find anything interesting there other than me? Didn't think so.
No, I don't.
Right. So one very last thing I want to go over pretty briefly, and then we'll probably knock it on the head or do, unless Will's got something else planned, is the actual kind of aim of patrolling and the different types. And like I've just mentioned briefly there, that kind of operation would be used for fighting patrol or a recce patrol or something like that, not necessarily a full-on advance to contact. Situations where you don't want to be seen or discovered, essentially. If you're doing a presence patrol, then obviously you want people to know that you're there, so you don't need to do all the drills and try and remain hidden. You just essentially bimbling down the middle of a fucking road and letting everyone know that you're there. That being said, when you are doing the kind of sneaky beaky patrols, you need to be acting a certain way down to the man in your squads, and everyone has a part to play. You all know the point of the formations, but do you know the individual kind of acts that you should be performing within that formation itself? So if we would just have a few volunteers, so Bonesaw, Lex6, Joke, Hanson, Ben, if you could just jump in a straight line, a single file facing south in the middle of the road, that'd be wonderful.
Copy.
Now again, this is kind of rehashing very, very basic principles, but I think it's important to, single file facing south, guys. One behind the other, twice,
column,
or 3 times.
Ah, a column, okay.
This is why we go over the basics, guys, yeah. Wonderful. The other way is extended line. If I say single file, that's this. Right, super job. Okay, so first man, point man. His responsibility, essentially, is 180 degrees to his front. So, from that tree there to over there. That is his main area of responsibility. When he's patrolling, he's constantly got his head on a swivel and he is constantly turning and making sure he can see all that in front of him and focusing on everything. He should not have to worry about what's directly behind him or what's to his 4 or 5 o'clock or whatever. That's not what it's about. Just he needs to focus solely on what's in front. Don't forget that man is the navigator, the map reader, compass bearing reader, contact caller. He's doing everything and he's got quite a high pressure job, so the less he has to deal with, the better. Second man should either be another kind of backup scout, point man / scout, or squad leader itself. He is, if let's say this for example is a squad leader, he's making sure that point man knows exactly where to go. His arc of fire will be from 180 degrees to where Ben's location is to where Bonesaw's location is. Either the left side or right side, that should be discussed beforehand. His main threat or main area of responsibility when patrolling should always be to that arc. It doesn't need to look the other side or anything like that. The occasional glance is fine, but it doesn't need to worry. So Lexix, if you face out to your left now, Bonesaw to the right, Joke left, there we go, Hanson to the other way. There you go, and Victor's got a rear. Right. Put 180 degree or semicircle in front of each of those people, and that is their arc of fire. So it goes from the man in front to the man behind. Victor has got slightly more responsibility being Tail and Charlie. He has to focus on his left side and all the way the 180 degree arc to the rear. Now that doesn't mean he has to constantly walk backwards like this all the fucking way. That's stupid. But every now and again, he should be turning around and making sure either he's not being followed, someone hasn't tagged on, or anything like that. That's the responsibility of every man in the patrol, though. Like, you should always turn around and make sure your guy's still there. The advantage of Shack Tack is obviously you can just have a look and you'll see, but that doesn't equate to if there's an enemy tracking behind you, which I know mission makers have done before, and they deliberately followed a patrol around. So Victor's got a tough job of making sure he's going 360, pretty much a 360 arc at the back there. For that reason, you would often put an AUR at the rear because they've got the most firepower to, if they do see someone creep up the back, they can instantly react. Your 2IC should be somewhere around the middle of the pack. That way, he can control the kind of rear element of the fire team, and he's not too far away from the squad leader if they need to converse. Any questions so far? Super. Right. Actual moving and patrolling then, you can kind of, you don't, like I said before, your default speed should be walking. You don't have to sprint, you don't have to run or anything like that. You're just walking. And then you should have your head on a swivel constantly and looking where you're going. If you're sprinting, you can't stay on a bearing, look around and spot enemies as well as you should or could do if you're walking. Walking pace now, I can basically concentrate on that tree line to the west and I'll see movement. I'll see things popping up or clipping or anything like that. I'll see that. I'm not going to see if I'm running or sprinting. And bear in mind, everyone's got different PCs and breaking immersion and shit, I know, but different graphic levels and stuff like that. Some people will not see anything because the terrain simply won't load quick enough if their heads are constantly spinning or you're spinning around or looking or running or sprinting. So keep it low, keep it nice and slow, keep it low. Also, if you are advancing to a contact and you know that contact is there, why is your weapon not up? It doesn't hurt your arms. Your arms aren't a physical thing. You're not going to start getting all fucked. You can have your weapon up and walk and you won't run out of stamina. You can just keep going for quite some time with your weapon up like that if you know that that contact's there. You don't need to aim down the sights. You don't need to block off your whole vision to have that going, but you can certainly have your weapon up. You spot the contact, bang, bang, instantly down, do your contact drills, everything else. If you're jogging and I'm running to the front, going backwards now, but if I'm running front and I see a contact, all of a sudden I've got to take the time to raise my weapon, then aim in, and then get a few rounds down. My weapon's already up, and I'm walking, I've seen him much faster, bang bang, and it's done. Everyone understand that?
Yep.
It's like I said, I know it's super simple and super obvious, but it's stuff that we are not doing on a Sunday at all, and it needs to change. The reason people are dying and spending so much time at base is because these bog standard things are getting neglected, and people are dying for a consequence, and then you miss out on 20 minutes, half an hour of actual game time. And if you're the first person to die, chances are you'll miss half the fucking firefight anyway. So switch on a little bit, try and adapt these drills, and yeah, go from there. When you're operating a patrol, obviously, if you're focusing on the left, your weapon should go where your eyes go. I know that's difficult to do, kind of in game, but if you've got an arc of fire, you should be kind of making sure you're turning with it. That way, if you've got if you've got your head separate to your body, you could get mixed up, and then you've got to kick it all into gear to turn your mouse and get it all working correctly. So, although you can have a little head spin holding down Alt, generally speaking, if you're searching an area, you should be turning with it, so your weapon follows your eyes all the time. Simple, yeah, simple stuff.
Yep.
Right. It is 10 to break off into your squads. We'll go for a bimble through the forest, and we'll see how we get on. What I may suggest you will do is take off your BFAs and make sure you've got some ammo.
Shlee,
Yeah.
can I beg your AUR box, please, off you?
You can take
Would
mine
you
out
mind?
of our backpack if you like, yeah.
Hey,
Thank you
Marius,
very much, sir. You are too kind.
do you have any spare room in your bag? I'm actually full.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just need to put a BFA with some other stuff
Kimbo, I
around.
still have one box in my backpack.
Ooh, yeah, I'll have that
Thank
as
you.
well.
I'm not gonna say it, guys.
Don't
I've
want
got
to.
two in mine, mate.
Does someone else want
Okay.
There's a chest over here, Kimbo, if you need it. After you've done.
I'm alright, I've got enough. Thank you.
I bet you do.
My
Sneaky
bag is
reload.
completely full of ammo right now, so I'm good.
You all saw it as well.
Lego, you good now, ammo?
I'm good, man.
Kimbo set.
Copy.
I've got a super slow firing rifle.
I might not even be here.
Hell yeah.
In op, I'm gonna be.
I got the exact opposite, and I had to refill my entire bag earlier.
I know this. Sorry.
I also discovered there were 200-round mags in boxes instead of 100, so I had to reload half as
I'm
much.
not using my rifle, so you can have mine.
Actually, tell a lie, Kimbo's not set.
I got a ton of ammo.
Bonso, do you need 200 rounds with
I know you're not gonna have BFAs.
Good to go.
Or in missions.
You are?
Alright,
Yeah, ammo?
all set.
Does it go looking?
Yeah.
I'm missing a torch.
Put some in your backpack.
Cool, you good to lead this?
Okay, thank you.
What's the up? I think we're just gonna push back through the tree.
I was about to say.
There you go, 200.
Hydrate.
Make sure y'all get those
It's not mine, mate, but I'll
Thank
pick
you.
it up anyway.
What gun do we know
Alright,
you?
Drink.
where's the squad leaders? Squad leaders.
One sec, I'm drinking.
And
No worries.
no grenades.
We're already in there, so I'm here.
Okay, essentially, folks, there are 3 fire teams out there. You need to head toward grid 136788. And there are 3 fire teams worth of enemy that need to be found and eradicated. I'll call it when they're dead. That's it. Just go through the drills of what you've done so far, moving to cover, the patrolling, etc., etc. Make sure you're talking to each other. Everyone's on channel 1, so you can all hear each other. You know the general direction. That's it. Nice and simple. Patrol out. Engage the enemy.
Yeah, sure. Copy.
Move when ready.
So switching to channel 1.
Copy.
Other squad leaders, Vegas will take the easternmost
What?
flank.
You switching to channel one?
Just
We
to confirm
are
that
all
grid
on
is
channel 1.
136788.
Oh, okay.
Channel 1, okay.
Copy. Firm 136788.
Serious?
Okay. Vegas will take the most eastern route if Gambler wants to just be on our left flank.
Are we merging squads?
We're on
Yeah,
channel
not,
1, right?
uh,
You're on channel
a
1?
little bit.
Oh.
Contact
Yeah.
320 from this position.
And Vegas will be on channel 1.
Yeah, Desig is on channel 1 as well. So Vegas is taking eastern approach. What are you
Bearing
taking?
is
Aaron?
333, so just...
We could take the western approach. if you want.
Copy. Yeah, then Dusek stick in the middle.
Yeah, copy.
Copy.
Right,
Yeah,
on me.
Dusek, form up a wedge formation. We're moving north.
Moving out on Natasha, boys.
Wedge.
And girls.
North.
Are we just doing
Ladies and gentlemen.
Camo squad leaders, can we get a little bit of pre-planning going on where the squads are going to be so we don't get crossfire and kill each other out there?
Who's lead?
Obi.
Who's
Nexus point, man.
Taking the eastern approach to that objective. We're moving
Joke, wanna swap? Spots?
Dusek is taking the middle. Ariel is taking
Swaps. You wanna swap spots?
Go.
Okay.
3-0 Vegas 343 engaging at the following grid. Break. 140-782 and going direct towards objective.
Need a bullet shield.
Good job. We're gonna be buddies today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cherokee?
Missing someone?
Pass me, mate.
Alright,
Pass
yeah.
me, mate. Let me get on the flank.
Span.
Gives me better.
He's had to go.
Better off
Put his
with,
dog down.
Zane. There you go. Beautiful.
Damn.
Shut him down. Just fucking.
Remember to keep
Right.
Squads be advised, 3-0
Shut the fucking, you know,
support if you
bang.
need us.
Let's
Give us grids
spread
and
out a bit,
calls.
blue team. and
Toshi,
form
we're just
this
moving to the
wedge
western
up.
flank right now, right?
It's a live fire exercise.
Copy
let's go.
that. All elements be advised
wanna
Vegas
get her up
is
so
on
we get
station
on the line.
at our grids, ready to
Also
move
get
out
the
from
first.
speed data.
Dusek is set and ready to move.
Well, I've got communication through camera turned off, so should be able to hear you.
We're supposed to be on channel 1, right? So we can't use radio.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you go to
We can't use radio, right?
add-on options,
Ben, can you hear me?
it's called Egg 2 Zeus.
Yeah, we're sort of in formation, but we're facing north.
We're facing northwest.
Yeah, we're supposed to be.
Northwest.
In a wedge formation. So, as in backup.
Shlee? You closest to me?
I'm
Yeah.
behind you, yeah, Hansen. You're
Yeah.
fine. Victor, back
If
up.
shit goes down, dude,
We're pushing
hope you got my back.
We're in a wedge formation.
Copy that. Dusek's moving out. Vegas, are you moving already?
Fair enough.
Stepping off.
Can anyone else hear Ben on 343?
Yeah, everyone's on
Confirm.
channel.
Yeah,
Arrow, this
everyone
is
on
Vegas.
channel 1 can go.
My bad.
Move, Merrick, move.
I can do that.
They're moving.
I am using Achilles, yeah. Don't know if that's...
Vegas to any gambler element, are we moving out now?
Yeah, roger.
Affirm. Vegas moving out.
Heading to objective is 336.
Yeah, it doesn't work, does it?
Knowledge.
I can do it through Achilles.
Weapons up. We're
Make sure
approaching
you have your
contact.
safety off.
Yeah, good point. Thank you. Just maintain spacing. Who's behind me? Joker?
Switch a bit left, blue. There's a big log coming up.
Dusek, move a bit more westish. We're getting into Vegas.
You hear that? Shifting west, does that?
West, northwest.
Shifting west.
Maintain spacing, guys, and remember to keep looking at your eyes.
Shifting back to north.
Just Joke, you focus on me and maintain that distance. I'll focus on the guy ahead of me, and with that we should be all alright.
Copy that.
Moving a bit further north.
Jesus. Arrow to your south.
None.
Not arrow. This is 3-0 south.
Moving further north.
Arrow, Gambler.
This is Arrow Sunday.
Arrow, just wondering where you're going, because you don't seem to be heading toward the grid.
Arrow's heading towards the western flank of the contact area.
Roger, be advised you were just supposed to head from this location to the other location. It's all good. Try and
as much as possible.
get
Still
sorted.
shifting north, guys.
Copy that.
But remember, shack tax. It's a bit of a hack. Just try and keep it visual.
Just
if you
this
can.
is Vegas. Copy, send.
That way you can keep the distance further. And you don't.
Copy, send.
If you know what I mean.
Just Vegas is going to shift northeast about 50 meters just so that
Like
we're not overlapping.
Hansen is just
Copy
barely on
that.
the edge of my shack tack ring. I can only just see him, but the wedge formation's really wide.
Yeah, one thing I would be worried about is if it's too wide, we might get split up.
Yep, definitely. But that's why I keep looking at him, checking on him. And if you look, you can see the guy ahead of him even further.
Yeah.
Hansen, you still got eyes on red team?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh well, I can see them, but only the lead on shack tack.
That's fine.
Contact straight ahead.
Contact straight ahead.
Contact north-northwest.
Moving.
Shlee, you coming with me?
Set.
Form a line.
That's at Vegas. This is 3-0. Putting down suppression, general direction break. You want to get a flank on or
Nice.
something like
Hansen's
that.
hit.
Copy.
Straight ahead.
Guys, move steady.
A from 3-0, Vegas will start pushing more northeast.
Right ahead.
Suppressing.
Yo, moving.
Moving. Moving.
Moving into your
Does have Vegas. If you guys get grids on those guys, let us know so we can concentrate our fire a bit better.
Last bearing 138 from Vegas.
Copy that 138 from Vegas.
Moving up.
Alright.
Yeah, I need to. Fuck, my legs are broken, dude.
Moving up.
Fuck bandaging, dude.
Let's spread out a bit more, guys. I'm gonna peel left, peel in.
Alright.
Taking, moving.
Set.
Did you just kill yourself?
Peeling left.
Copy that.
Set.
Contact
Moving
northeast.
left. Crossing.
Careful, guys. Careful, losing track of the guy on the right.
Alright.
I only were peeling to spread the line out.
How much left do you want to go? Is this enough?
No, just the spacing. We were two on top of each other.
Okay. Moving up.
Copy that.
Set.
Stop moving on top of me. Moving.
Moving. Shlee, I gotta get that tree, dude.
Moving
I
up.
got broken legs.
Chop it.
Yo. Help me fix some of the wounds real quick if you can.
What's that?
Some of my wounds. Do you have time?
You have time to bandage yourself. Yeah, do it quickly.
Oh yeah, one moment. Hang on. Got it.
Yeah, one time to casualty there.
One moment.
Yeah.
I need to
Anything on
fix something.
security?
Yeah, I'm about to die, I think.
need help?
Don't worry about treating, just bandage yourself up, we need to continue this assault.
As long as my leg is fixed, I'm good.
You still bleeding?
Yeah, I think I'm good now.
Okay.
Yeah. Just low on blood, that's good enough.
Sir.
You be my buddy, yeah?
Where is KAA?
Yeah. My leg is fixed. It's good enough.
Over here, Shlee.
Contact.
Covering.
Moving.
Contact report. Northwest of my position, bearing 315.
Northwest, apparently, northwest.
Moving.
Copy. Is that between you and Arrow?
Moving.
Yes.
Yeah, we are waiting.
Any eyes?
No eyes. I think they're behind this dense foliage north.
Yeah. Moving.
Move it.
Just like be advised, Vegas is 2 KIA on your eastern flank right now. We're continuing to push northwest.
No visual.
Moving.
Moving.
Copy that,
Correct.
Vegas. Where was the fire coming from? You took the KIAs from?
Set.
Moving.
Moving up.
Moving.
Tasha, you got comms with the other squads, dude.
Moving.
Roger that.
Just like be advised, last known contact was 340 from Vegas.
Moving.
Arrow, send off.
Move it.
Copy that, Vegas. You still got contact?
And you are
Moving.
Arrow,
Make sure
send
you
off.
guys switch left.
Negative
Too
at
close
this
to
time.
right here.
Ligo, good.
Shifting left.
Moving left.
Zanny, you with us? Zanny's down, but Zanny's down. We got 2 men down here.
Shots close west.
Arrow, this is 3-0. Be advised, you have contacts
It's
to
okay.
your east. Break.
Just keep the shot. Just keep it with the
Marker
rest of blue. They'll do
C-tab
it.
1020.
Marius, get hold of a Tasha's tracker. I want to see where the other squads are, dude.
Down!
Roger.
Hearing shots direct west of blue.
Ben, we got hostiles sneaking up on our back.
Arrow, did you copy my last?
Rest of blue, okay, Victor. There.
Hansen, do you have eyes on Victor?
Hang on.
Hansen, do you have eyes on Victor?
Yeah, he's.
behind her.
It should be right behind me. Victor set.
Shlee coming back to you.
Arrow, this is
Victor.
3-0. Do you copy?
Well, left.
Unknown. Public KIA.
Oh, I see him. He's east.
Gambler, this is 3-0. Pretty
What's
sure
happening
Arrow's
with
down.
red team, Merrick?
So we just lost Ben due to us being flanked by behind.
Right,
Just
we
for
got
your
flanked from
information.
behind. Okay.
Vegas, Arrow.
Moving.
Vegas,
Contact
this is
behind.
Arrow.
Pass the joke.
Controller.
Go for Vegas.
Gonna lay down and
We're
bandage
currently
up the
getting
street.
engaged from the northeast. We see
Contact
you on
behind
the
you,
partially
south.
east of us. We're pushing up onto target objective.
Contact.
Affirm,
behind,
Vegas is
south.
also moving towards target objective. We're going to be hitting it from
Friendly.
the eastern side.
Right.
We're about 50 meters out.
I know.
Roger.
Arrow, I want you up on me on a wedge. Come on, northeast, let's go.
Yeah, of course.
1 second, but medical.
Right, let's.
Sorry. Vegas is now 50 meters off target to our east, direct east.
Roger that. Vegas, east, 50 meters. Arrowhead, on me. Northeast, let's go.
Index. Churchill, Ligo, Zanny back on station. Medical issues. Index, boys, index. Index.
My ear were about to explode from listening to the 148 the 148, sorry, the 343. That's index.
Yeah, the 343 on channel 1 was a bit horrible.
Yeah, I was just like, oh,
Yeah,
I
bad
need
idea.
to communicate something.
Respawn area, 136,
Probably
780.
just happens
Yeah,
because they
Hansen
wanted
knows.
to bring a mess.
Sorry, Gambler, can you repeat last?
Oh, you're right.
Move to the spawn area at 136, 782.
Follow those. They'll take us to it.
Boys, we're heading to the direct south.
Stitching left. Radar stitched.
Okay, we are regrouping at the crossing area.
Put a marker on the map for you boys.
Not even fucking spray.
Fucking nature.
A bit southeast for the marker, I think. Ah.
Bearing 187.
187, copy.
Copy. Eyes on.
We were for a second, and then they were not. Yeah, I think the 344 is a miscommunication, to be fair. I think it was just channel 1 on the 148.
Should we join channel
That's
4
true,
again?
yes.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Weird. Just made everything very confusing.
I'm gonna join channel 4.
Yes, please.
Channel 4, right?
Oh, it's index anyway.
Doesn't matter. I don't want to hear all those fucking radio changes.
Channel 4 check.
Check. So.
Good check.
Savings.
Huh?
Or do you want to put your money in your checks or savings?
I said good check.
Liar.
That's not what I heard.
Bad check. Little bounce.
It was only when I got back here for some reason. Oh, strange. I was going to say, everything around here has been here since pretty much the start of the mission. Weird.
So, Stabs, is it official that I got stabbed from behind?
What's that?
Is it official now that I got stabbed from behind?
Pretty much. Well, I pointed a PKM into your mouth and unloaded, so...
Yeah.
Always double tap. What were your thoughts on it? Just went,
Yeah.
Slowly
Oh.
turned around and went, oh shit.
Oh wow. I knew your voice, but I said, what the fuck, why Stabs here? Oh no, fuck.
Gonna have to get a
Parallel here.
soundboard or something for when I do that to people. So, for those who don't know, the first fire team that was engaged, you dropped them all, but one was alive still. He came back and managed to have free rein behind the squad for about 2 or 3 minutes as you're all advancing forward. And then I found Ben, tapped him on the shoulder, and put half a mag of PKM into his head. That is why he died. We will start getting tricksy, so be sure to double tap or bind or secure any wounded or enemy or anything like that, because yeah, we're going to start making life very difficult for you, so you're switching onto these drills. Training's for training, it's all good fun and all that, but in ops...
in the next couple of weeks, but yeah, should certainly good showing from everyone there.
Cool, thanks for putting the training on, mate. Anything from Vegas?
Really awesome training. Thanks for putting it on. Everyone stab. Lots of small things that we get rusty on that we need to go back over and remind ourselves. And Vegas just stick around at the end.
And Talon, anything from you guys?
No, we had quite a good training and got all sorted out for Sun Disruption operation.
Nice. Well, I hope you guys are liking this kind of change up with like doing training on different terrains and stuff like that. Next week will be individual training just on Panthera again, though, just so you can kind of take the stuff we've done past couple of weeks and put it into practice in amongst your own squads. Thanks for sticking around. Hope you all enjoyed, and thanks very much for all of the donations and support. Very, very much appreciated. Big ups yourselves, and I will catch you later. Take care.
See you.
Stabs, can I grab you?
Right.
Cheers. Take care.
Quickly,
I'm gonna have a quick fly around.
Where's it going?
Hello.
You're right, dude. Just something that I'd noticed from on Sunday. It's not a big deal or anything like that, but it's to do with the AUR loadout when it
Oh my
respawns in.
fucking Christ! What now?